Hello, you've reached the winter of our discontent.
I'm making this documentary about my friends, but it's really about people who are trying to find their own identity without having any real role models or heroes or anything.
And it seems like your friends would be perfect for that.
I truly believe that if we can get 2 women on the Supreme Court, we can get at least 1 on you, Sam.
I lost my job.
Why'd you get a job at Burgerama?
I was valedictorian of my university.
Well, you don't have to put that down on your application.
Do you have any idea what it means to be a cashier at Wiener Schnitzel? There you go, sir. And have a tune, Wiener dude.
A couple of smokes, a cup of coffee, and a little bit of conversation. You and me and $5.
You got it. He's strange, he's sloppy, he's a total nightmare for women. I can't believe I haven't slept with him yet.
Are you religious?
I guess I'm a non-practicing Jew.
Hey, I'm a non-practicing virgin.
Did he dazzle you with his extensive knowledge of mineral water?
He's not a yuppie.
What is your glitch, huh?
My glitch?
And why are you acting like a jealous boyfriend all of a sudden? Hi.
You look beautiful. You look like a doily.
I think the moment has been appropriately captured.
Welcome to Movie Monday, and today we are going to talk about Reality Bites. This movie has been always one of my favorite movies. Growing up, I remember renting it from the store. I was around 13 when I saw it, and because I think I was like 12 when it came out. But yeah, I rented it on VHS, and then I bought it on VHS. I bought it on DVD. I bought it on Blu-ray. I've streamed it now. It's just a movie that I try to watch at least once a year, but it usually gets watched at least twice, 3 times a year. I always encourage people to watch this movie. It's kind of like a Gen X movie. It is very, very 90s feel to it. It stars Ben Stiller, who also directed it, and it was the first theatrical movie that he directed. Winona Ryder, who the screenwriter, the person that wrote this movie, she wrote with that actress in mind. And that girl who wrote this movie was only 19, which is crazy. And then the other lead is Ethan Hawke, who plays Troy. And growing up, seeing this movie, I always thought Troy's character was the coolest person, and now I go back and I watch it and I'm like, this guy is super flawed. This guy has a lot of problems, and I identify with him even more, parts of him. But it's just a really good movie. It just felt very real, like something that was filmed about a group of people. It's basically about Winona Ryder's character. She's head of her class, valedictorian, and then as soon as she graduates, she has no idea what to do with her life. She doesn't know. She has kind of like a crappy job, being like an assistant for a talk show host, and Ethan Hawke's character plays kind of a guy that just goes from girl to girl, doesn't have much of a purpose, plays in a band. He's just a band guy. They're friends, and then Ben Stiller's character plays a guy that is like an executive that works for MTV, and he's trying to do this show, I believe, called In Your Face, and it has like this like real world type vibe to it, which the movie originally was going to be called Real World, but it came out around about a year after Real World came out, and so they changed the title to Reality Bites. But here's some little fun facts about this movie is that it's one of the first movies, it's credited as the first movie for Renee Zellweger. Very small role in there. Originally, they wanted no studio wanted to do this movie because the movie Singles came out, and that was trying to get the Gen X, and that movie tanked. So all these movies were just trying to pass on it. TriStar actually did make the movie, and then they dropped it. So eventually, I believe it was Universal that put it out. And when it was screened at in Berkeley, they once the Universal logo came out, and because people kind of had an idea what this movie was about, so people were excited about it. They saw the Universal logo, saw very corporateness of it, so it got booed. A lot of people were not happy with that. So Winona Ryder, for her to sign on to this movie, which she only did because she was doing a lot of period pieces and she wanted to do something contemporary, so she joined up on this, but she did have a clause in her contract that the only way she would do it is if Ethan Hawke played opposite her. And so she did that, which then in turn, Ethan Hawke asked Ben Stiller if to check out a tape from Lisa Loeb, which she did that song Stay. So that's Stay got popular from being included in that movie. Let's see some other things. Janine Garofalo, who's also in this movie, who plays one of the friends, was fired, and Winona Ryder asked for her to come back. Janine Garofalo says that she has very poor work ethic, and so she kind of understood what was going on there. There's a girl that Winona Ryder calls the psychic the whole time, and that is actually the voice is Ben Stiller's sister, and his mom is also in there. And let's see, another fun fact. Okay, the other thing that was really cool was that Janine Garofalo's character, if it wasn't her, some people that had auditioned for the role is Gwyneth Paltrow, Anne Heche, and Parker Posey. And Parker Posey, and around this time, was doing a lot of movies. And I definitely think that if it wasn't Janine Garofalo, Parker Posey would have been perfect for the role. But Janine Garofalo actually really kind of made it her own, and I liked it. And that the production lasted about 42 days. But one thing, too, that has always stuck out with me is this one quote when Winona Ryder and Ethan Hawke are hanging out and talking, and he says, "You see, Lainey, this is all we need. A couple of smokes, a cup of coffee, and a little bit of conversation. You and me and $5." And that whole thing of having a conversation with somebody over $5, never a smoker, so, but I've definitely had lots of good conversations with over drinks. Or over Slurpees, for that matter, and so that has always stuck out with me. So, now last thing is, I'm going to go with some high reviews. There wasn't a lot of 10 out of 10, so I might be one of the few people that really, really enjoyed this movie. But one person says it took them 3 tries to watch this movie, and now that they love it. This movie resonates with me, which is also how I feel. Breaks my heart every time. I definitely can see some of that. To think I once felt guilty for being a little disappointed. So then this goes on long sentences after that. So the film of the 90s grunge generation gets better with time, reality or not. Okay, so there's that. Now I will go to some of the negative reviews. Who are we supposed to sympathize with here? And that I definitely get, because some of the people, you're like, really? Some of you might just be lazy. Let's see. Not very good. Cliche Gen X stereotype. This movie bites. Let's see. Oh no, never mind. All of a sudden there's a lot of 10 out of 10s. They're just popping in out of nowhere here. yeah, but so it's really all over the place. Actually, I'm seeing way more positive. One says it works in spite of itself, or yawn. But regardless, if you are a fan of Ethan Hawke, you're a fan of Winona Ryder, hell, if you're a fan of Ben Stiller, and you love the 90s, if you want to, feel that era, definitely check out Reality Bites. Apparently, to these reviews, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it, and there's really no in between. So, see you next week.